People don't like having to go through customs at the airport. You've got to take off your shoes, your belt, all metal, and take everything out of your bag to show a complete stranger upon returning from another country. It's not a fun experience and no one likes it. But you might not understand just how important customs is and the stuff they catch. Customs also has to deal with cargo containers with strange items inside. They never know what bizarre, illegal stuff they're going to find next, or where they'll find it. If you think you've heard it all, then check out these craziest things found by customs. $100,000 bars. It seems like the drug pushers will do anything to get their illegal substances across the border. But if you think about it, it's doubly dangerous to try and smuggle drugs into another country. But the people behind this sweet scheme thought they had a foolproof way to get some illegal drugs to Tokyo, Japan from Los Angeles, California, USA. Customs officers became aware of a man who was flagged for buying his airline ticket with cash just 2 days before the flight to Tokyo. Upon searching his bag, they found 45 individually wrapped Snickers bars. Nobody's that hungry on an 11-hour flight, and so it raised suspicion, and they opened the candy bars. They probably didn't look anything like a Snickers bar, and each one had a fake chocolate coating-like substance. But they found more than peanuts and caramel inside. There was also a pure illegal substance that probably would have made Heisenberg of Breaking Bad proud.
You're goddamn right.
The street value of the seized fake candy was worth more than $250,000. Oh, by the way, that guy's going to jail for a very long time because drugs are bad. Egyptian relic. Customs never know what they're going to find, but if something is wrong with the shipment, they will inspect the contents. Customs officials in Miami, USA had a shipping container that came from Spain, where the importer couldn't provide ownership for. Of course, that means they look inside, and when they open the crate, to their shock and amazement, they found a 3,000-year-old Egyptian sarcophagus. When U.S. Customs officials contacted Egyptian authorities, they were told that the ancient sarcophagus had been stolen 125 years ago. No word on whose sarcophagus it belonged to, and it's interesting to wonder where it's been hiding all this time. But now that it's been discovered, the ancient and priceless sarcophagus was returned to Egypt where it belongs. Man with an oversized suitcase. People sometimes try to see what kind of things they can fit into their suitcase so they can get as much of their belongings home or on vacation with them. That is, as long as it doesn't go over the weight limit. When an airline sees unusually large luggage, expect customs to check it out. That's what happened in March 2015 when a man from France tried to smuggle something totally different back into his country. The man was detained at a railway station in Tiraspol, a Polish town on the border with Belarus, because his luggage was suspiciously large. When they opened the suitcase, they discovered a woman inside, who was the man's Russian wife. But here's the really funny thing. The couple thought they lacked the proper documentation to enter the European Union, but the border guard said that all they would have had to do was prove they were married. That's right. Had the woman just been sitting next to her husband, they would have made it through the border without incident. Thankfully, Customs had a sense of humor and released the couple after some questions. One of which was probably, "Why did you do this?" Baked surprise. We probably wouldn't be wrong if we say that no matter who you are, baked goods are going to get some attention, especially if you are a customs agent. But before we jump into this story, you probably already know that if you're bringing large sums of money with you country to country, you can only take so much cash with you and you need to declare it for tax purposes and all that fun legal stuff. Some people have done a lot of crazy things to get cash past customs agents. But when it comes to tricky schemes, this one takes the cake. Customs agents in Germany were probably salivating at a large number of croissants, which, when they took a closer look inside, found rolls of cash which were baked right inside the buttery pastry. The cash was rolled into some aluminum foil to protect them, and those croissants were probably a little heavier than normal. Turns out this bust broke up a money laundering scheme, or money baking scheme, back in 2012. Smuggling animals. Okay, so it's no secret that people have tried to smuggle animals into another country which are exotic to the next. There are so many reasons not to introduce exotic species to foreign land, but people still try to do this. In 2010, a woman was flying from Bangkok to Iran and had some difficulty in checking in an oversized bag. Customs officials took the bag and ran it through an X-ray machine, and the image it returned shocked them when they believed they saw something that resembled a cat. When they opened the suitcase, They were shocked to discover a baby tiger, which was neatly packed among other stuffed animals. The small cat must have been sedated for the trip, and the 2-month-old baby tiger was rescued by the agents. The reason she was smuggling it was because in Iran, exotic pets like this one are ecstatic. Home improvement. It used to be that you'd hear stories of people trying to smuggle things hidden inside of normal stuff, like gun parts inside of teddy bears, or even bags of fish that sloshed around when the passenger walked through the scanners. But now things are getting really high-tech, and a Peruvian man was busted in 2010 by the Federal Public Revenue Administration of Argentina with 44 pounds of an illegal substance. But the insane thing is that it was hidden inside of some home improvement items, and not just ordinary stuff either. Among those items were hollowed-out metal bolts, which were used to sneakily hide the substance inside them. How Customs figured that one out is clever, but a photo of a broken bolt tells the story. A baby. We know what you're saying. Wait, you can take babies on airplanes. And yeah, that's right, but in this case, the child wasn't legally allowed into the country. So the loving United Arab Emirates parents did what any other parents would and decided that they would put their young son in a suitcase and try and smuggle him into the country. It's a crazy idea and endangers the life of the child. And the scheme almost worked until the luggage went through the X-ray scanner, where they spotted the boy crouching inside. The child was only 5 months old, and so putting him in a carry-on bag was no problem, except for the X-ray machine, which was said could have caused the child serious health problems. Tree care. Maybe some people don't realize that some things are dangerous weapons, and maybe this is something that someone thought it just might make it past customs. Well, just imagine someone taking an airplane hostage with a chainsaw. That's right, someone brought a chainsaw as carry-on luggage, trying to get through customs. Not that it was his intention to hijack the plane, as far as we know. Some of you probably might not think this would be a huge deal to bring an expensive chainsaw in a case as a carry-on. But this one was gassed up and ready to go. If you're going to take a chainsaw on an airplane, you might want to empty out the fuel. Chainsaw, gasoline, 35,000 feet, probably not a good combination. The passenger ended up getting the tree cutter confiscated instead, but we're not sure if he ended up getting it back or not. Monkey girdle. Where do we come up with this stuff? Seriously, we can't make this up. Police at the Mexico City airport detained some guy because he had a suspicious bulge under his t-shirt. Well, it must have been more than a bulge because the man ended up having 18 small endangered monkeys which were concealed under his clothing in a girdle. The guy traveled to Mexico City aboard a commercial flight from Lima, Peru, and was acting strange and nervous around customs agents. So they searched him. That's when they found the 6-inch tiny monkeys which were hidden in tiny sacks. The man said they were in a suitcase before this, but took them and hid them under his shirt so X-rays wouldn't hurt them. Sadly, 2 of the monkeys didn't survive. Why would someone smuggle tiny monkeys? Well, the man likely paid $30 for each one of the animals and planned to turn around and sell them for $1,000 on an illegal wildlife market. Oh, that guy went to jail for a long time, as it's a serious crime to smuggle wildlife. Trouser snake. People will try to smuggle all kinds of things in creative ways, thinking they will get away with it. Customs agents are keen and know what to look for, and when they see someone acting unusually nervous, they will likely investigate. At Germany's Berlin-Schönefeld Airport, a 43-year-old man was acting suspiciously and nervous just as he was about to board the flight out of the country. Security staff was called and they searched the man and found a young boa constrictor alive and inside of the neckband which was tied to the belt and hung inside the pants. The man was unable to show documentation for the beautiful all-black 15-inch boa constrictor in his pants. The snake was transported to a rescue center and the man went to jail for smuggling. What's under the mattress? Some people will do anything when it comes to getting to another country. There are a lot of migrants, and some of them just want to get to a better country for a better life. But sometimes that is impossible. But it won't stop people from coming up with some of the cleverest ideas when it comes to smuggling a person. 2 men were found as they attempted to make it across the Moroccan border into Melilla, a Spanish enclave on the North African coast for a better life in Europe. But these guys weren't just walking across the border or hiding in a car. They were hiding inside of 2 mattresses that were strapped to the top of a car. That's right, they were literally sewn inside of the mattresses, and customs agents had to use knives to cut open the material. It was a clever operation that probably sounded good until the Spanish customs agents decided to check the heavier than usual mattresses. We hope you enjoyed this video. Which one of these did you think was the craziest? If you liked the video, then click on subscribe if you haven't done it already, and turn on notifications so you'll be the first to know when a new video arrives. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.